Welcome to tonight's quiet hour. Settle yourself however you like, beneath a soft blanket, or against a kind pillow, or curled on your side with one hand tucked beneath your cheek. There is nothing to do now, nothing to remember, nothing to plan. The day has finished its work, and you are free to set it down. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench, just a little. Let the small muscles around your eyes grow heavy and warm. Notice the weight of your body where it meets the bed, and let that weight grow a little heavier with each slow breath. Breathe in gently, and breathe out even more gently. In and out. You do not need to make your breath into anything special tonight. You only need to let it happen, the way the tide happens, or the way clouds happen, or the way evening happens, all on its own, without any help from you. Tonight, you are going to travel to a place that exists only in the soft country of imagination, a mountainside, high above a green valley, a row of small wooden tearooms strung along a terrace like beads along a thread, a keeper who tends to kettles and lanterns, and who walks slowly, and who is in no hurry whatsoever. You will follow her, and you will rest in each room she visits, and you will let the warm steam and the cool mist carry you, by gentle degrees, into sleep. You will not need to remember anything. You will not need to follow the story. If your attention wanders, that is welcome. If your eyes have already closed, that is welcome too. The story will simply keep going, slowly, softly, around you and through you, the way mist moves through an open doorway. Take one more long breath in and let it go. Now, let us begin. You step through a doorway carved into the side of a mountain. It is not a grand doorway. It is a simple frame of weathered cedar with a small bronze bell hanging from a leather cord. The bell does not ring as you pass. It only sways slightly, as if greeting you. On the other side of the doorway, you find yourself standing on a wooden walkway. The boards are old and smooth, polished by many quiet footsteps over many quiet years. Moss grows along the edges, soft and green and faintly damp. Beneath your feet, the wood is cool but not cold, and it has the particular give of cedar that has been gently weathered by mountain air. You look out from the walkway, and you see, half a mile below, a wide green valley. Rivers thread through it, narrow and silver. Fields lie in patient squares. A few small villages send up thin lines of smoke, and a few small roads wind between them, and everything down there looks far away and entirely unconcerned with you. The valley is so far below that its sounds do not quite reach you. Only, now and then, the distant ringing of a bell. A single low note carried up the mountainside by a slow wind. It sounds for a moment, and then fades, and then there's silence again. The silence is not empty. It is full of small, soft things, the rustle of leaves, the creak of wood, the breath of clouds. Above you and around you, the clouds drift, not in great banks, but in soft white shapes that move slowly across the terrace, the way patient houseguests might move across a room. One cloud passes near your shoulder. You feel its coolness against your cheek. You feel a faint dampness settle in your hair. And then the cloud has moved on, and the air around you is dry again, and warm with the late light of the afternoon. You begin to walk. The walkway leads you along the side of the mountain, gently rising. To your left, the rock face is dark and damp, threaded with small ferns and pale flowers. To your right, the open air and the slow drift of clouds and the very far down valley. But there is a railing, a smooth wooden rail, worn pale by countless hands, and the walkway is wide and steady, and you feel completely safe. After a little while, you come to the first of the Tearooms. It is a small wooden building, no larger than a modest room, with a curved roof of dark tiles and walls of pale wood and paper screens. The screens glow softly from within, the warm amber of a paper lantern shining through. A short eave of cedar shingles extends over the walkway, and beneath it, a small bench, and beside the bench, a low door of woven reeds. You see her there, the Steepkeeper. She is a woman of indeterminate age, perhaps middle, perhaps older, with dark hair pinned simply, and a long indigo robe that falls almost to her ankles. Her sleeves are tied back with a length of gray cord. Her hands are calm, and her movements are unhurried, and she looks up at you as you arrive, and she gives the smallest, kindest nod. She does not speak. She does not need to. She turns and slides open the reed door and gestures softly for you to come inside. You step through, and you are in the first tea room. The floor is cedar, pale and warm, and as you step onto it, you find that you have somehow left your shoes outside, and that the wood is exactly the right temperature beneath your feet. Not cool, not warm, just right. You feel the grain of the boards through your soles, the long, soft lines polished by years of quiet feet. In the center of the room, on a low, square hearth lined with stone, a charcoal brazier glows. The coals are deep red, faintly pulsing, and above them sits an iron kettle. The kettle is humming, not whistling, only humming. A low, contented murmur, the way a cat might murmur in its sleep. The Steepkeeper kneels beside the brazier. She lifts the kettle by its bamboo handle, and she tilts it gently, and a thin ribbon of steam rises into the air. The steam smells green, grassy, sweet, like fresh leaves and warm rain. It curls upward and meets the cool air near the ceiling and disappears. You sit on a flat cushion by the wall, and you watch her. You do not need to do anything. You only need to watch. She takes a small Celadon cup from a wooden tray. Celadon, the pale green-gray of a still pond at dawn. She pours a little warm water into the cup, and she tilts it, and she rinses it gently with her fingers. The water makes a small, soft sound as she empties it into a wooden basin. Then she sets the cup back on the tray, and she takes another, and she does the same. One cup, then another, then another. The small ceramic click of each cup against the tray, the faint slosh of water in the basin, the hum of the kettle, the slow tick of a single bamboo wind chime somewhere outside the room. When the cups are rinsed, she turns to a small cabinet beside the hearth. She opens a wooden drawer, and inside are several cedar tea caddies, small round containers with snug-fitting lids. Each one is labeled with a paper tag in soft black ink. She does not need to read the tags. She knows them by their weight and by the smell of the wood. She lifts one caddy. She lifts its lid. Inside, a heap of green leaves, tightly curled, dark and fragrant. She measures a small spoonful into a brown clay pot, and she replaces the lid, and she sets the caddy back in the drawer. Then she waits. She waits for a cloud to enter the room. You watch the doorway. The reed door is open, just slightly, and beyond it, the walkway, and beyond that, the soft, white air. Slowly, so slowly that at first you do not notice, thin curl of mist begins to drift through the doorway. It comes in low, near the floor, like a slow tide. It rises, and it widens, and it fills the room with a faint, cool dampness. The Steepkeeper lifts the kettle. She pours the hot water into the clay pot, and the leaves swell and turn, and the green, grassy steam rises and meets the cloud. The two, steam and cloud, mingle in the air above the hearth. You can no longer tell which is which. She sets the kettle back. She places the lid on the clay pot, and she waits. This is the rule of the Tearooms, you remember. Each pot steeps for exactly as long as the cloud takes to cross the room. No more, no less. No one watches the clock. The cloud is the clock. You watch the cloud move. It drifts slowly from the doorway, across the floor, around the brazier, and toward the open window on the far wall. It takes its time. It is not hurrying. Nothing here ever hurries. You feel the cool mist touch your face. You feel a faint dampness settle on your eyelashes. You feel the warmth of the brazier and the coolness of the cloud and the soft cedar beneath you and the slow, patient breath of your own body. And you feel, quite gently, that you are exactly where you ought to be. The cloud reaches the far window. It hesitates at the sill, and then, without sound, it pours itself outside and disappears into the larger sky. The Steepkeeper lifts the lid of the clay pot. The tea inside is dark green and perfect. She pours a single cup. Not for you, not for any guest. For the room, to make sure the room is ready, should anyone arrive. She lifts the cup. She holds it to her face. She breathes in the steam. She takes a single small sip. She closes her eyes. She nods, very slightly, as if to say, yes, this room is ready. Then she sets the cup down on the tray. She rises. She gestures to the door. It is time to move to the next tea room. You follow her out. The cool air meets your skin. The walkway stretches ahead of you, climbing gently along the mountain face. Mist drifts across the boards in soft white drifts. Below you, the valley has grown a little darker. The afternoon is sliding into evening, and the green of the fields is taking on a deeper, more shadowed hue. Between the first tea room and the second, the walkway crosses a small rope bridge. It is a sturdy bridge, thick ropes, wide wooden planks, a railing on each side. It sways, but only slightly, the way a hammock sways when there is no wind. You step onto it, and the gentle motion meets your feet, and you find that you do not mind. In fact, you find that you rather like it. The bridge moves with you, kindly, the way a slow boat moves. In the middle of the bridge, you pause. You rest your hands on the railing. You look out into the soft white air. A cluster of bamboo wind chimes hangs from a small wooden post at the far end of the bridge. As a slow breeze stirs them, they make a sound, hollow, soft, wooden, like raindrops falling into a deep wooden bowl. The sound carries down the mountain and seems to settle into the valley below. From far away, a single valley bell rings, one low note. It travels up to you slowly and softly, and then fades. You stand for a long moment on the bridge. You feel the slight sway. You feel the cool mist against your hands. You feel the great quiet of the mountain. Then you walk across. The second tea room is a little larger than the first. Its roof curves more steeply, and there are two small lanterns hanging beneath the eave, both unlit. The Steepkeeper goes to them first. She takes a long, thin taper from a holder by the door. She lights it from a small ember she carries in a clay dish, and she touches the taper to the wick of the first lantern and to the wick of the second. The lanterns bloom into soft amber light. The light spreads across the paper, warm and even, and casts a faint glow onto the wooden walkway. You stand for a moment and watch the light steady itself. Inside, the second tea room is much like the first. Cedar floor, stone hearth, iron kettle, charcoal brazier glowing dark red, a low cabinet of Cedar Caddies, a wooden tray of Celadon cups, and cushions arranged carefully along the wall, waiting for guests who may or may not arrive. The Steepkeeper sets to work. She rinses each cup with warm spring water. The water is clear and clean and smells faintly of stone. The small ceramic click of cup on tray, the slow slosh of water, the murmur of the kettle. She selects a different caddy this time. She lifts the lid and breathes in. The smell that rises is darker, toasty, nutty, like roasted rice. You breathe it in too, from where you are sitting, and you feel it settle warmly in your chest. She measures the leaves into the pot. She replaces the caddy. She waits. A new cloud drifts in through the doorway. This one is fatter than the last, soft and round, and it fills the room more thoroughly. The cool mist settles on the paper screens, and the warm amber light glows through it, and the whole room takes on a quality of soft, glowing fog. The Steepkeeper pours the hot water. She replaces the lid. She waits. You watch the cloud move. It curls around the kettle. It drifts along the floor. It rises slowly toward the ceiling. It finds the far window, and it begins, gently, to spill out. While you wait, you let your gaze rest on the small details of the room. The grain of the wooden cabinet, the pattern of the cushions, pale blue, with a faint design of curling leaves. The shape of the brazier, square, simple, lined with smooth stones. The hand of the Steepkeeper, calm, steady, resting lightly on her knee. When the cloud has finished crossing the room, she lifts the lid of the pot. She pours a single cup. The tea is a darker green now, with a hint of gold around the rim. She holds the cup to her face. She breathes in. She takes a small sip. She nods. This room, too, is ready. She rises. You rise. You follow her out into the cool air. The walkway climbs a little more steeply now. Small lanterns have begun to appear at intervals along the railing. Paper, like the ones in the tea rooms, but smaller, with hand-painted patterns of pine boughs and slow rivers. As the Steepkeeper passes each lantern, she pauses. She lights the wick with her small taper. One by one, the lanterns wake into amber light, and the walkway becomes a slow line of warm glow that follows the mountain into the dusk. You walk beside her, or just behind her, in no particular hurry. You notice the way her sleeves move as she walks. You notice the way her feet barely seem to make a sound on the cedar boards. You notice that your own steps have begun to match hers. Slow, even, soft. Between the second and the third tea room, the walkway widens into a small platform. On the platform, there's a wooden bench. The bench faces outward toward the valley. The Steepkeeper sits on one end. She gestures gently for you to sit beside her. You sit. The wood of the bench is smooth and cool beneath your hands. The mist around you is thickening, just slightly, the way mist does as the afternoon turns to evening. Below you, the valley is a soft patchwork of dimming greens and silvers. The villages have lit their small lights. One, a faint yellow point. Another, a faint yellow point. Another, each one no larger than a star. A single bell rings far below. One slow note that travels up the mountain to reach you and then fades into the larger silence. The bamboo wind chimes nearby stir softly. Their wooden notes blend with the bell, and with your breath, and with the slow hum of the kettles, you can no longer see, but can imagine. Warm, patient, contented, in their small wooden rooms behind you. You sit on the bench for what feels like a long time, or perhaps it is a short time, lengthened by the slowness of the air. It does not matter. There is no need to know. When the Steepkeeper rises, you rise too. The third tea room is set slightly back from the walkway, behind a curtain of climbing vines. You push aside the vines gently as you pass. Inside, the air is even softer than in the others, perhaps because the vines outside have caught some of the wind. This tea room has a low table in its center, made of a single slab of dark wood. On the table, 3 small porcelain dishes hold dried flowers, pale yellow, deep red, soft pink. A small bronze incense burner sits at the far end of the table, unlit. The Steepkeeper begins her work. First, she trims the wick of a paper lantern hanging from the ceiling. She lifts the lantern down with great care, opens its small wooden hatch, and snips the wick with a tiny pair of bronze scissors. The snip makes a small, clean sound. She lights the wick. She closes the hatch. She hangs the lantern back in its place. The amber light steadies. The room glows. She kneels at the hearth. She tends the brazier. She brushes the ashes around the charcoal with a small bamboo brush. The coals breathe. The kettle hums. She rinses each Celadon cup with warm spring water. Click, click, click. She refills the cedar tea caddy from a small tin labeled in soft black ink. She measures the leaves into the pot. She waits for a cloud. The cloud arrives in its own time. It enters the room not through the door, but through a small open vent near the ceiling. It comes down in a slow spiral, like a careful guest descending a staircase. It settles around the table, around the hearth, around your shoulders. You breathe in the cool mist, and the green, grassy steam of fresh tea, and the soft cedar of the floor. And you feel, very gently, that your body is growing heavier on the cushion. Your eyelids are heavier. Your hands are heavier. The cushion beneath you is softer than you remembered. The Steepkeeper pours the cup. She breathes. She sips. She nods. This room is ready. You rise, or perhaps you simply find yourself standing. You are not entirely sure, and you follow her out, back through the curtain of vines, back into the cool, slow air of the walkway. The dusk has deepened. The valley below is a long, soft shadow, scattered with small yellow lights. The clouds around you have turned faintly silver, lit by a moon you cannot quite see. The lanterns along the railing glow more brightly now, each one a small, steady amber heart in the white mist. You cross another rope bridge. It sways only slightly, kindly, the way it did before. In the middle, you pause, and you rest your hands on the rope railing, and you listen to the bamboo wind chimes, and you watch the slow moving clouds, and you breathe, in and out. The fourth tea room is the smallest of all the rooms. You almost have to duck to step inside, but inside, it feels somehow large, perhaps because of the way the paper screens glow. Perhaps because of the way the cedar smells. Perhaps because of the quiet. In this room, the Steepkeeper takes longer than usual with the cups. She rinses each one twice. She holds each one up to the lantern light and turns it slowly and looks for any small mark or smudge. If she finds one, she rinses again. She is patient. She is unhurried. You sit on a cushion of deep green silk and you watch her hands. Her hands move the way water moves in a stream, slowly, without effort, without forcing. The kettle hums. The brazier glows. A cloud arrives through the doorway, low and soft, and the Steepkeeper lifts the kettle and pours. You breathe in the green, grassy steam. You breathe in the cool mist. You feel the warmth of the brazier on your knees. You feel the slow, steady weight of your own body. You feel, quite clearly, that you are not in any particular hurry to leave this room. But the cloud crosses. The tea steeps. The cup is poured and sipped and nodded over. And it is time to move on. You step back out into the walkway. By now, the night has fully arrived. The sky above the mountain is a deep, soft blue, almost violet, with a few faint stars beginning to show through the drifting mist. The moon, somewhere behind a cloud, casts a diffuse silver glow over everything. The lanterns along the walkway burn warm against the cool blue evening, and their light pools on the cedar boards, and the boards seem to remember the day's warmth as you walk over them. You pass beneath a low arch of carved wood. On the other side of the arch, the walkway curves around a small jutting rock, and beyond the rock, the fifth tea room waits. This tea room is built around a small spring. You can hear the water before you see it, a soft trickling, a quiet bubbling, the sound of water moving over stone. Inside, in the center of the room, a small stone basin holds the spring water. The water rises in the basin, fills it gently, and overflows down a narrow wooden channel that carries it out beneath the wall and down the mountain. The Steepkeeper kneels beside the basin. She dips a wooden ladle into the water. She pours the water into a small clay vessel. She uses this water, the fresh spring water, to rinse the Celadon cups. The water is cool and clean and faintly sweet. You can almost taste it from where you sit. You can almost feel it on your fingertips. The kettle in this room is larger than the others, and its hum is deeper, more of a low, contented rumble, like a sleeping animal breathing in its den. The brazier glows warmly. The lanterns are already lit. She measures the tea. She waits for the cloud. A cloud arrives, a large, slow one, and it takes its time crossing the room. The tea steeps. She pours, sips, nods. This room is ready. Before she rises, she dips the wooden ladle into the spring basin once more. She offers it, gently, to you. You take the ladle. You raise it to your lips. You drink a small sip of the cool, clear water. The water tastes like stone, and like moss, and like the deep heart of the mountain. It is cooler than you expected. It is sweeter than you expected. It settles in your chest with a slow, gentle warmth. You hand the ladle back. The Steepkeeper places it carefully beside the basin. She rises. You rise too. Out on the walkway again, the air is colder now, with the full coolness of the mountain evening, but you are not cold. The warmth of the spring water is still inside you. The warmth of the braziers is still in your knees. The warmth of the cedar is still in your feet. You walk on. The walkway leads you between two large stones, boulders the size of small houses, and the path narrows and curves around them. Mist clings to the stones in soft white veils. Small ferns grow in the cracks. A few tiny mountain flowers, pale and white, nod gently in the cool air. Beyond the stones, the walkway opens into a wider platform, and on the platform, the 6th tea room waits. The 6th tea room is the most ornate of all the rooms. Its eaves are carved with small wooden cloud shapes. Its door is painted a soft, deep red, the color of late autumn leaves. Its paper screens are decorated with a faint pattern of mountains and pines, painted in pale gray ink. Inside, the room is warm and amber. The brazier is already glowing. The kettle is already humming. The lanterns are already lit. It is as if the room has been quietly preparing itself for the Steepkeeper's arrival. The Steepkeeper smiles, very slightly. She kneels at the hearth. In this room, the ritual is the same. The cups are rinsed. Click, click, click. The caddy is opened. The leaves are measured. The cloud arrives. The water is poured. The cloud crosses the room. The cup is sipped. The nod is given. You watch from your cushion. You watch, and you breathe, and you grow heavier. Your eyelids are very heavy now. The warm amber light is soft on your face. The cool mist is soft on your skin. The cedar floor beneath the cushion is soft against your body. You think, perhaps, that you might rest your head against the cushion, just for a moment, just to feel its softness against your cheek. And so you do. You let your head rest. You let your eyes close, just briefly, just to feel the warmth of the room without the small effort of seeing. In the closed dark of your eyelids, you can still hear the kettle. You can still hear the cloud move. You can still hear the small ceramic click of the cup against the tray. When you open your eyes, the Steepkeeper is rising. The cup has been sipped. The nod has been given. The room is ready. You rise too, slowly, slowly, in no hurry. There's one tea room left, the 7th, the last. You follow the Steepkeeper out into the cool night air. The walkway curves upward gently around one final shoulder of the mountain. The lanterns along the railing glow brightly. The mist around you has thickened into a soft white blanket, and you cannot see the valley anymore, only the cloud and the lanterns and the walkway beneath your feet. The bamboo wind chimes sound somewhere nearby, hollow, soft, wooden. A distant valley bell rings, one low note far below. The mountain itself is very still. The 7th tea room appears at last at the end of the walkway. It is the largest of all the rooms, but it does not feel large. It feels gathered, the way a good blanket feels gathered around you. Its roof is curved more deeply than the others, and its eaves are long and low. Several lanterns hang beneath the eaves, all already lit, casting a wide pool of warm amber light onto the walkway. The Steepkeeper pauses at the door. She turns, and she looks at you, and she gives the small kind nod she gave when you first met her. Then she slides the door open and gestures for you to come inside. The 7th tea room has many cushions arranged along the walls. Some are deep blue. Some are pale gray. Some are soft green. All of them look extraordinarily comfortable. In the center of the room, the largest brazier glows. The largest kettle hums. The largest Celadon cups wait on the largest wooden tray. The room smells of cedar and roasted rice and the green, grassy steam of fresh tea. You sit on a cushion of deep blue silk, and you find that it is even softer than it looked. You sink into it, just a little. You feel the cushion accept the weight of your body. You let your shoulders fall. You let your hands rest on your knees. You let your breath slow. The Steepkeeper begins her work. She rinses the cups, each one, slowly. Click, 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 click. The water is warm, and the cups are pale green, and the sound of ceramic against wood is the gentlest sound in the world. She opens the cedar caddy. She measures the leaves. She replaces the lid. She waits. A cloud drifts in through the doorway. A large, slow, generous cloud. It fills the room with cool, soft mist. It curls around the brazier. It settles on the cushions. It settles on your shoulders. It settles on your eyelids. The Steepkeeper pours the water. The green, grassy steam rises. The cloud and the steam meet and mingle and become a single, soft, white presence in the room. She places the lid on the pot, and she waits. You wait, too. But waiting is not a difficult thing here. Waiting is the same as resting. Waiting is the same as breathing. Waiting is the same as letting the mountain hold you, and the mist hold you, and the warm amber light hold you. You watch the cloud cross the room, slowly, slowly. It moves the way a thought moves when you are nearly asleep, softly, without direction, without urgency. The cloud reaches the far window. It pauses at the sill, and then, without sound, it spills outside and is gone. The Steepkeeper lifts the lid of the pot. The tea inside is dark and rich and perfectly steeped. She pours a single cup. She lifts it to her face. She breathes in the steam. She takes a small sip. She closes her eyes. She nods. This room, the last room, is ready. She sets the cup down on the tray. She does not rise immediately. She kneels for a long moment beside the brazier. She rests her hands on her knees. She lets her shoulders soften. She breathes in the warm amber light. She breathes out the cool white mist. You watch her, and you feel a great quiet settle over the room. The lanterns burn steady. The kettle hums low. The brazier glows deep red. The cushions are arranged. The cups are rinsed and waiting. The pots are warm. The mountain is still. Outside, the mist has thickened into something soft enough to lean against. Inside, the room is a warm amber heart in the white blanket of the cloud. The Steepkeeper rises at last. She moves slowly. She moves to each lantern in the room, and she checks each wick, and she adjusts each one to burn just slightly lower. The light in the room softens, dims, glows even more warmly. She moves to the brazier. She brushes the ashes around the charcoal. The coals settle and breathe and glow more deeply. She moves to the cushions. She arranges them. She fluffs them very gently. She smooths the silk. She moves to the doorway. She slides it almost closed, just a thin gap remaining, enough for a cloud to enter, should one wish to. And then she kneels again by the hearth, and she folds her hands in her lap, and she becomes very still. You feel your body grow heavier on the cushion. Your eyes are heavy. Your breath is slow. The warm amber light and the cool white mist and the low hum of the kettle and the deep red glow of the coals and the soft cedar beneath you and the soft silk against your cheek, all of these settle around you and into you and through you. You let yourself rest. You let yourself sink. You let the mountain hold you. Somewhere far below, a single valley bell rings. One slow, low note. It travels up the mountainside, and it reaches you, and it fades. The bamboo wind chimes sound softly, somewhere outside. Hollow. Wooden. Soft. kettle hums. The cloud drifts. The lanterns glow. You are very heavy now, very warm, very held. You do not need to think. You do not need to listen. You only need to rest. The Steepkeeper is still. The room is still. The mountain is still. A cloud drifts through the small gap in the doorway. It settles on the floor. It rises slowly. It touches your hands. It touches your face. It is cool and soft and kind. The cedar floor is warm beneath you. The cushion is soft beneath you. The amber light is gentle around you. The mist is gentle around you. You let your breath slow, slower. You let your eyes rest. You let your face rest. You let your hands rest. You let your heart rest. The kettle hums low. The coals breathe slow. A wind chime sounds soft. A valley bell rings far. You drift. You drift on the warm cedar floor. You drift on the soft silk cushion. You drift in the warm amber light. You drift in the cool white mist. You drift. The mountain holds you. The cloud holds you. The cedar holds you. The lanterns hold you. You are warm. You are held. You are safe. You are still. Rest now. Rest. The kettle hums softly. The cloud drifts slowly. The lanterns glow gently. And the mountain is perfectly still. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. Sleep long. Good night. And yet, even now, there is a little more. A little more cedar. A little more cloud. A little more amber light. You do not have to follow it. You only have to let it pass by, like the mist passing the doorway, like the bell sounding in the valley, like the slow breath of the coals in the iron basin. The Steepkeeper, very gently, sets another small piece of cedar on the coals. You do not see this. You only feel the warmth deepen in some quiet part of the room, in some quiet part of you. The cedar smoke rises, slow, soft, a pale gray thread lifting toward the rafters. It meets the white mist near the doorway. It curls around it. It folds into it. And then there's no difference between smoke and mist, only warmth and softness, and the gentle drifting of small gray-white shapes through the warm amber air. You let your shoulders soften. You let your jaw soften. You let the small space between your brows soften. You let your hands lie open, palms up, on the silk cushion. You let the back of your neck rest. You let the small of your back rest. You let the soles of your feet rest. Everything is held. Everything is held by cedar, by cloud, by stone, by the patient mountain underneath. Somewhere far below, the valley is asleep. The little terraced fields are asleep. The river is asleep, slipping slowly between its banks. The wooden bridges are asleep. The small lanterns at the gates of the valley houses are dimmed, low, almost out. Somewhere closer, the path you climbed is asleep. The mossy steps are asleep. The stone lanterns along the way have lowered their flames. The carved foxes at the path's bend are quiet, watching nothing in particular, with kind, painted eyes. Somewhere very close, the small wooden bell at the door of the tea house has stopped swaying. It rests against its rope. It will not ring again tonight. And here, in this warm room, the kettle hums. The coals breathe. The lanterns glow. The mist drifts. The cedar holds. You are deep inside the mountain's evening, deep inside its long, slow breath. You are part of the warmth now, part of the soft amber light, part of the slow drift of the cloud across the floor. The Steepkeeper moves very gently to lower the wick on one of the paper lanterns. The room dims just a little. The amber becomes softer, honey-colored, lower, slower, kinder. You hardly notice. You only feel the room grow a little quieter around you, the way a candle grows quieter as it settles into its own pool of wax. Another lantern is lowered, and another. One by one, the small flames bow down, almost asleep themselves, content to hold only the smallest circle of light. The room is now the color of warm tea, the color of old paper, the color of a lullaby. The cedar floor is warm beneath you. The cushion is soft beneath you. The honey light is kind around you. The cool mist is gentle around you. A wind chime sounds very far away. A single small note, like a drop of water on a smooth stone. Then quiet. A valley bell rings even farther away. A long, low tone, rolling along the dark hills, slowing as it goes. Then quiet. You let the sounds pass. You let them go where sounds go when no one needs them anymore. You let your thoughts pass. You let them go where thoughts go when no one needs them anymore. There is nothing to keep. There is nothing to carry. There is nothing to hold. You may set everything down now. The cushion will hold it. The cedar floor will hold it. The warm room will hold it. The mountain will hold it. You do not have to carry anything into sleep. You may leave each small worry at the doorway, the way travelers once left their sandals before stepping into a quiet room. You may leave each small task in a neat row near the iron basin, where the coals will keep it warm until morning. You may leave each small thought in the bowl beside the kettle, where the steam will gentle it and soften it, and let it drift away on the rising smoke. There's nothing left for you to do. There's only this, the warm room, the honey light, the drifting mist, the patient mountain, the slow, slow breath. You feel the cushion under your hand. Soft silk, a little cool at first, warming where your hand rests. You feel the floor beneath you, smooth cedar, polished by many quiet years, warm with the breath of the coals. You feel the air on your face, cool from the doorway, warm from the basin, faintly sweet with cedar smoke, faintly green with the smell of the steeping tea. You feel your own breath, slow, easy, in and out, in and out. You do not have to make it slower. It is already slow. You do not have to make it softer. It is already soft. It is the breath of someone almost asleep. The breath of someone held by a kind mountain. The breath of someone resting on a cedar floor in a honey-lit room, while cool white mist drifts slowly across the boards. The Steepkeeper, very gently, pours a small measure of tea into a small clay cup. The cup is set on a low wooden tray. The tray is set on the floor near you. You do not need to drink. You do not need to reach. You do not need to look. The cup is only there to keep you company. A small, warm presence near your hand. A small wisp of steam, lifting into the honey light and gone. The steam rises like a small thought, and like a small thought, it disappears. And nothing is missing. Nothing at all. You let your breath follow it for a moment. Up, slowly, and away, and then back to rest. You let your breath follow it again. Up, slowly, and away, and then back to rest. The kettle hums. coals breathe. The lanterns glow low. The mist drifts in, drifts out. The mountain holds the tea house. The tea house holds the room. The room holds you. And inside you, something very small and very tired sets itself down at last. Quietly, without fuss. The way a small bird folds its wings at the end of a long evening. You rest. You rest more deeply. You rest more deeply still. The honey light dims, just a little more. The room grows warmer around the edges. The mist rises softly, like a slow tide, until it covers the floor in a thin, pale layer that glows faintly in the lantern light. You are floating on cloud. You are resting on cedar. You are held by the mountain. Above you, somewhere far above the rafters, the sky has gone deep and dark. The stars have come out, slow and patient. They do not need to be counted. They are simply there. Small, kind lights, watching over the mountain, over the tea house, over the room, over you. The carved foxes on the path do not see them. The wooden bell at the door does not see them. The kettle does not see them. But they shine all the same. Patiently, quietly, as they have shone over this mountain for a very long time. You do not have to see them either. You only have to know that they are there, that the sky is gentle, that the night is kind, that nothing in the dark is hurrying. Nothing is hurrying. Nothing is hurrying. The mountain is not hurrying. The cloud is not hurrying. The river is not hurrying. The stars are not hurrying. The night is not hurrying. And you are not hurrying. You are simply here, warm, held, safe, still. Let your breath grow quieter. Let your body grow heavier. Let your thoughts grow softer. Let the room grow farther. The kettle is far. The lanterns are far. The doorway is far. The carved foxes are far. The mossy steps are far. The valley is far. Everything you saw is gentle and far and asleep. And you are sinking slowly, slowly into the warm cedar floor, into the soft silk cushion, into the honey light, into the cool, kind mist, into the patient mountain. You sink the way a small leaf sinks slowly through still water, drifting, turning, settling. There's no bottom you need to reach. There's only the sinking, only the drifting, only the slow, soft settling. The kettle hums, very low now, almost a whisper. The coals breathe, very slow now, almost a sigh. The wind chime is quiet. The valley bell is quiet. The carved foxes are quiet. The little wooden bell at the door is quiet. The mountain is quiet. You are quiet. You are very, very quiet. The honey light grows softer. The lanterns lower their wicks once more. The room is now the color of a banked fire, deep gold, warm shadow, the soft red glow of coals. A single lantern still burns near the iron basin, small, round, kind. It will burn there until morning. It will not go out. You do not need to watch it. You only need to know it is there. A small, kind light in a warm, kind room on a patient, kind mountain. And you, resting in its glow, resting deeply, resting easily, resting completely. Your breath is slow. Your body is heavy. Your mind is soft. The room is far. The mountain is near, holding you. The cloud is near, holding you. The cedar is near, holding you. The lantern is near, watching kindly. You let the last small thought slip away, like a leaf on still water, like steam from a clay cup, like smoke from a single piece of cedar. Gone, gone, and nothing is missing. Nothing. is missing. Everything is here. Everything you need. Warmth, softness, quiet, light, breath, warmth, softness, quiet, light, breath, in and out, in and out. The mountain breathes with you. The cloud breathes with you. The cedar breathes with you. The whole quiet world breathes with you. You are not alone in the dark. You are held by a great, soft kindness, a kindness as old as the mountain, as soft as the cloud, as warm as the coals, as patient as the stars. It does not ask anything of you. It only holds you. It only holds you while you sleep. And you may sleep now. You may sleep deeply. You may sleep long. You may sleep through the whole quiet night. The lantern will watch. The coals will watch. The mountain will watch. The stars will watch. Nothing important will happen without you. You may let go. You may let go completely of the day, of the climb, of the steps, of the path, of the small thoughts, of the small worries, of the small tasks. Let them rest too. They are tired. They have walked a long way with you. Let them lie down beside you on the warm cedar floor, in the honey light, under the soft drift of the cool mist. Let them sleep too. Let everything sleep. The kettle, the cups, the lanterns, the carved foxes, the little wooden bell, the mossy steps, the stone lanterns, the valley below, the river, the bridges, the fields, the houses, the sky, the stars, the mountain, the cloud, the room, and you, all of it asleep, all of it safe, all of it held. You drift on warm cedar, you drift on soft silk, you drift on honey light, you drift on cool mist, you drift on the slow breath of the mountain. You drift, you drift, you drift. The kettle hums very softly, the coals breathe very slowly, the lantern glows very gently, the mist drifts very kindly, the mountain holds you very patiently, and the night goes on very quietly all around you. You are warm, you are soft, you are safe, you are held, you are still, you are resting deeply, you are sleeping well. The mountain is still, the cloud is still, the cedar is still, the lantern is still, you are still. Rest now, rest deeply, rest long, rest through the whole quiet night. The kettle hums softly, the cloud drifts slowly, the lantern glows gently, and the mountain is perfectly still. Sleep well, sleep deeply, sleep long. Good night, good night, good night.